Welcome back to more Super Mario Galaxy. Last time, we got further in the Toy Time Galaxy, so this time, we have a purple comet at the Sea Slide Galaxy. This is Purple Coins by the Seaside. If you need help collecting all those purple coins, I've got the Toad Brigade and several ships in position. I'm just thoughtful like that. This might sound extreme, but this is actually one of my least favorite purple coin missions in the game. It's actually one of the easier missions because there's very little actual danger. There's like no enemies, there's no time limit, we can simply leisurely go across the sea slide, collecting all 100 coins. There are also no extra coins here, so we need every single one. The reason I don't really care for this is it actually is probably one of the longest purple coin missions in the entire game. It takes like 9 to 10 minutes to collect everything, and personally, I would prefer some of the shorter challenges that are much more difficult rather than like one really long challenge that has like very little actual difficulty. But that's just how I like my preference for like difficulty in games. This just feels a little bit tedious for a few reasons, partly because we have to basically traverse the entirety of the sea slide with the bee mushroom, which isn't exactly the fastest way to travel. And also there's the risk of, if you fall into the water at any point, you basically have to double back to one of these little areas to get another bee mushroom. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to not fall into the water, because I would rather not lose the bee suit and end up having to collect another one. Because especially depending on where you fall, it can make an already fairly long mission take even longer. That being said, I actually, in some ways, don't mind this mission as much as I used to, partly because I have a better understanding of where all the coins are. Like, the worst feeling in this particular type of mission is where you have, like, 98 coins or 99 coins, and you're missing one, and you basically have to go through the entire galaxy combing every corner again. Still, I do feel like this is, in some ways, a nice change of pace after some of the more high-intensity purple coin missions, and missions in general, because we are pretty close to the end. We have 90 stars, so we are essentially 3/4 of the way through the game. And that's kind of another issue I do have with Galaxy, and I talked about this a little bit already, I'm pretty sure. But one thing I kind of dislike is this was the start of a trend where basically you weren't able to 100% Mario games until after defeating Bowser at least once. So yeah, like, the purple coin comets don't even appear until after the Galaxy Reactor, and are kind of designed as like a post-game, like, hey, look at all the places you've already been, now we have new missions there, or a new mission in each one of the main galaxies. And in that way, I actually think it's cool to, like, bring back older galaxies, but also, like, we're kind of losing that a little bit here because I played everything in a different order than I usually do. Again, normally I save the purple comets to the very end, like I get everything possible and then fight Bowser. But like this way, we kind of have a sort of anticlimactic situation where we're still going through the regular missions also. There are no purple coins in the ocean. That is actually very good to know, because if there were coins in the ocean, it would be actually kind of miserable having to search for them. I think I have all the coins I need up to this point. I did a few practice runs to kind of get an understanding of where everything is, and I ended up with 55 by this point, so we are still on track at least. it doesn't look like there are any purple coins on an island in the middle. So that basically narrows it down to just the sea slide itself and only above water. Look, I got some purple coins for you. Alright, so that was an easy set of coins to find, and let's move on. There is a bee mushroom over this ship in the water, so if we lose one, we don't have to go all the way back at least. They are generally fairly generous about putting bee mushrooms along the sea slide, so if you do lose it at any point, it's usually not too big of a deal going back for one, but again, it can be a little tedious. What I usually do for these coins is land on this cloud first, and then, then descend to get these. I find it easier than trying to get them from, the lower cloud. Eek, I'm scared of heights! I can definitely relate to that. Moving on to the tree, this should be where our final purple coins are. Again, this mission isn't even that bad, it takes a while. I almost feel like a problem with this mission is the pace at which you collect coins feels slower than other galaxies, so it doesn't feel as immediately rewarding in the moment, if that makes sense. Like in other galaxies, especially the ones where there are 150 in total, you can basically get through those missions very quickly, and it feels a little bit more rewarding. Seeing the number go up really quickly, but here, we're getting clusters of maybe 1 or 2 coins for the most part, maybe more 3 or 4 in some other areas. So yeah, we basically are collecting coins at a much slower pace, and that makes it feel less fast-paced. But yeah, I have been enjoying playing the game this way. It actually has been nice being able to break up the purple coin missions across. Having the regular missions to still go back to while still going through the purple coin missions, instead of just having purple coins for the entirety of the end game, is a little bit refreshing, not having the exact same mission type for 15 stars in a row. So in that way, it's actually kind of nice being able to unlock the purple coins as early as possible, and even then, we didn't get them unlocked at the earliest possible moment, since all we needed was the grand stars up to that point, and the 60 regular stars. So yeah, we actually did have more than we actually needed. Alright, there's one on this little ledge, and the final 3 are right over here. Adding to the theme of this mission takes a very long time, the star appears on the other side of the area. Obviously, there are 2 different ways you could go about completing this mission. You can obviously do the loop we did, but you can also go backwards, because where you start out with Captain Toad is right by the tree, you can basically go that way around, in which case you'll end about here. So either way, unless you deliberately leave coins by the lighthouse and then double back for them, you're most likely not ending this mission anywhere near where the actual star appears. I almost wish it appeared near Captain Toad, because both loops would put you by Captain Toad. But again, this mission just has a theme of taking a very long time, so yeah, in some ways I guess it makes sense that it would put it really far away from either ending location. It's also at the top of the lighthouse, so we do need the bee mushroom for this. There is one by the lighthouse, so if you lost it on the way over here, you can still get one fairly easily in order to fly up to the top of this little lighthouse. We're almost there, just a little bit more to go. We need to climb up this little pole and then jump for the star. You got a star! Purple coins by the seaside, Sea Slide Galaxy. You increased your star bit count. we still have several comets to get here. So let's move on to the enemy hideout. Bowser Jr.'s Lava Reactor. Our mission here is King Caliente's Spicy Return. Similar to the Mega Leg Grand Star, we're starting out with the Launch Star in a cage. So we need to make our way over here to the Bullet Bill Launcher, and then carefully guide it around the enemies and over to the Launch Star. From here, we have sinking platforms and a life-up mushroom. These enemies are invincible, by the way, the little fire enemies. We also have more octopi enemies. We have to deflect their projectiles like before. If I give up any more Grand Stars, my dad's gonna get mad. So this calls for my ultimate weapon. Give him some heat, King Caliente. I like how his ultimate weapon is a rematch with one of the first bosses in the game, but we have a rematch with King Caliente. Like before, we have to basically deflect his projectiles that aren't on fire. So overall, this is a pretty easy fight. It's very comparable, other than we have sinking platforms now, so we have to be a little bit more careful. So let's try this again. One nice detail is this crown actually falls off after the second wave. Also, we now have meteors crashing down, so we have to be even more careful here. And with that, we have recovered the final Grand Star. You got a star! King Caliente's Spicy Return, Bowser Jr.'s Lava Reactor. Galaxy complete. You increased your starbit count. You've discovered a new galaxy. Before we move on to our final dome, there's a prankster comet we should try out. So that means our next stop is the engine room once again. We have one last cosmic comet at the Sea Slide Galaxy. Our mission is the Underwater Cosmic Luigi Race. For our final Cosmic Luigi race, we have to race him all the way over to the lighthouse. This is actually a very challenging race, especially as Luigi, because again, to my knowledge, Cosmic Luigi is slightly faster than Cosmic Mario. Make sure to get all of the boost rings that you see, collecting coins also for air. As soon as we have to get back onto land, I recommend jumping and throwing the shell as quickly as possible, so we can long jump more easily. Like so. So yeah, let's try to quickly make our way to the backside of this lighthouse for the star. You got a star! Underwater Cosmic Luigi Race, Sea Slide Galaxy. Galaxy complete. High score updated. You increased your star bit count. So we still have to wait for a couple more prankster comets there, but in the meantime, let's move on to the final dome. We'll investigate this at a later time, by the way. This is the garden. It's a secret room. Before we head in, let's activate this teleporter. So now we have a much shorter route to the very top. Our first stop is the Deep Dark Galaxy. First up is the Underground Ghost Ship. We're currently on galactic survey duty. Please be patient with us. We're on an exploration mission. Sure you are. Cannon! Get all you can in the cannon! So let's take that Toad's advice, hop into the cannon, and see where this takes us. We want to actually pass through the Rainbow Star over here. By the way, we're not going to thoroughly comb this mission for reasons that'll be obvious in a bit. But we might as well get a few extra star bits while we're here from all these little octopus enemies. But yeah, like there's this whole planet over there that we'll look into at a later time. But for now, I actually need to wait for this to run out. And now we can grab the Fire Flower and take this Sling Star to take us back to the main part of the galaxy. from here, we need to quickly run over to the torches to light them as usual. And from here, we can make our way to this little area. First up, we need to dive into the water. However, we're actually going to deviate from the main path, obviously dictated by this arrow. Instead, I want to swim to the very bottom of this cavern, where we can actually already see a shell and something interesting over here. Again, this always feels a lot scarier as Luigi because his air dwindles so much faster. But we want a shell, and we need to basically toss it at these mines. So that secret launch star takes us to this little hidden area where we have a boo with the star and these little directional arrows that are apparently slightly difficult to actually reach. Let's try this again. So the goal of this is to basically continually change the gravity and make our way over to this crystal. We have to time this kind of carefully in order to actually get into a bubble. I'm actually kind of stuck here. Yeah, we need a bubble, and we need to hit the switch once again. So now we need to lure the boo into the light. Let's actually try this. I think that actually might work. Can we lure the boo from here? Alright, so we have our next star, but we actually need to change gravity once again in order to actually reach it. Which again is proving to be a little bit easier said than done. I do not know why that didn't work. There we go. You got a hidden star. Boo in a box, Deep Dark Galaxy. High score updated. You increased your star bit count. We should have another comet in the engine room, so let's carefully drop down. And we have one more fast foe comet at the Toy Time Galaxy. Next up is Fast Foes of Toy Time. So we have to navigate the Tox Box portion of the stage once again, but with foes moving at double speed. Kind of like with the Beach Bowl Galaxy, I actually don't feel like this is too bad. In some ways it's actually kind of nice because you don't have to wait around as much. It is slightly scary though, especially as we have to precisely step on these switches. The final switch should be over on this side. I definitely took, or is it over here actually? I kind of backed out of that. I definitely could have made it, but wanted to play it a little bit safe. Now we have the fun task of actually getting back over to the other side to continue on. So let's carefully make it over past those enemies, and to our final Tox box. Once we get past this, I'll feel a lot better about this particular mission, to be honest. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to take my time. I could rush this a lot more, but yeah, I am deliberately trying to play this a little bit safe. Because, again, Luigi's physics can be a little bit tricky. You might accidentally slide into the Tox box's range, which would not be great. Again, the warp pipe just takes us back to the other section, so let's not take the warp pipe, and let's continue on. From here, we have a few switches on this side. Again, you have to waitlist, so in some ways it's actually kind of nice. I think this should be our last set of switches right over here. And we have another star for our efforts. You got a star. Fast Foes of Toy Time. Toy Time Galaxy. High score updated. You increased your star bit count. We still have one more Prankster Comet left over here, and it's kind of a doozy, so I can't say I'm exactly looking forward to this. But in the meantime, let's return to the top of the observatory. We still need to get the actual main mission of the Deep Dark Galaxy, and also we have plenty of other places to explore at some point. So yeah, we'll probably continue through here and then get another comet, or get the final comet at the engine room, and then go from there. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Mario Galaxy.